Yes, hello there. Happy New Year. Hope you had a wonderful holiday. I'm back at you. It's January the 4th. Yeah, January the 4th, early morning, January the 4th. And it's been a very interesting season for me. Um, the good news is that, my tumor, shrunk about 50%. Bad news is that the spots that were on my liver that were originally suspected to be cancerous after liver biopsy about a week ago were determined to have traces of cancer on them. So, in medical speak, the cancer has metastasized to my liver. Um, Again, this was suspected early on. Initially it was shocking and offsetting and upsetting, and to my wife, myself, but it wasn't a complete blind side as it was a suspicion that that the spots on the liver were cancerous. But again, the good news is that uh, the tumor has shrunk, and the spots have reduced in size as well on my liver. This means that, according to my doctor, that I am not eligible now for the operation that would target the primary tumor, um, because it would put me in greater danger um, of spread, and in his words, would really do me no favors. The 6 to 8 weeks might give the cancer time to spread, and whenever they've determined that it's metastasized, even at trace levels, so, so the major surgeries, as this would be, are ruled out. So I'm wholly dependent now on chemotherapy. I have to go back in starting next week, Wednesday, for chemotherapy again. The only difference is that I'll be without the drug that causes me the severe neuropathy that I'm suffering, where my hands are tingly and numb and sensitive to cold. Um, Tend to drop things because the nerves are damaged, and it takes several months for them to recover. Um, and in extreme cases, it can be debilitating. But you know, um, I did have about 6 weeks off of chemo, and I'm finally able to taste food again. So I'm eating quite a bit because soon I won't be able to taste food again since I'm going back in for the chemotherapy for another 6 sessions, and after which they will again scan me in to determine the status of the tumor and any possible spread. So it's very tedious. It's been 8 months now. Well, 9 months, 8 to 9 months, and but I'm still here. I'm still here. So I'm hoping that it will continue to shrink. I am using holistic means. I have seen a naturalist, and I think some of the enzymes that she provided me, pancreatic enzymes, and chlorophyll, and selenium, and cleansing agents, and basically things from the earth that are to cleanse and strengthen your organs and help you fight uh, uh, the enemy of the body, which is toxins. And so I'll probably soon be going back to my fruit and vegetable diet and be eating a lot of rich, thick, green, leafy, vegetables and dark fruits such as blueberries and grapes, um, and all the things that are said to help cleanse the body and strengthen the immune system. Um, my spirits are okay. I had a pretty good, nice Christmas. My son had got more gifts than probably he expected, and he had a wonderful Christmas. My wife got me some nice things. I want to brush up on I want to increase my French speaking ability, improve it, shall I say? And so she got me the Rosetta Stone, and I was a little bit surprised at that. I already had a book, and I've been practicing from the book, and so I'm looking forward to using the Rosetta Stone as well. I'm joining the gym. I'm start working out again as much as I can, more so to keep my strength up and tone my body. I'm not looking for brute strength so much anymore. Um, Achieved my goal of bench pressing over 300 pounds about a couple years ago, so that milestone was reached, and it's good enough for me. Um, yeah, I'm enjoying my music. I'm spending a lot of time in the yard and play with the dog, and we have fun. Um, Things financially aren't as good as they could be, but that's part of the struggle. The job that I was working is threatening to terminate me. But this is it. This is the life of a cancer patient. It doesn't just stop with the cancer. Here I am suffering from something that's possibly life ending and considered terminal, and at this point now considered at least stage 3, and in my doctor's mind stage 4. Um, People don't care. It's all about money in America and maybe the world. But I know in other countries, people are protected in the fact that their full salary up to a year and half salary the second year. And there's all kinds of provisions. But America, the beautiful, is lacking in those ways. And now with this new uh, being about to take office, a lot of things that are in place are going to be probably dismantled, and it's going to be worse off for a lot of people. I just hope it doesn't cut into my Social Security benefits that I'm getting, because I'm barely getting by with just that. But hopefully I'll be doing some sort of something to help me earn some money, tutoring or doing something. That's my plan as long as I'm able. So that's where I am right now. That's where I am. It's quite an odyssey. It's been, and it's tiring just thinking about going back in for the chemo, but it's been proven, at least in my doctor's mind, to be effective, and the results were manifest in the last scans, and that I believe in conjunction with the holistic approach, and just believing that I can beat this. I think are the things that have helped me to so far beat the odds. My doctor's pretty conservative in the things he says and shares, and I guess in this litigious society of ours, everyone's afraid to say the wrong thing in fear of being sued. But I did ask him, how usual is it for there to be some shrinkage, and he did say I'm doing better than the average, patient. And I could tell there was some surprise that the tumor has even gone down. So I'm feeling very blessed in that respect. Yes, it would have been great to have it cut out, via the surgery, um, and maybe never ever come back. But here I am, and I just gotta go from here with this. And people, what they are, I can't worry about that. People gonna judge you. I've been called negative. I've been called. It's been suggested that I'm not doing my best by some. People will say, "Well, what are you worried about?" Maybe it's just a lack of a reservoir of proper things to say. You know, Sometimes it's just best to listen. I mean, really, if you know somebody who is going through this, sometimes, I'm not looking for a response. Sometimes we just get lonely, and we just want somebody to listen to us. We want somebody to listen without judgment. It is a very tricky and difficult situation, having to think about your mortality every day, um, dealing with one of the most difficult medical diseases out there right now. So praying that the research gets better, gets to the point where they can eradicate this monster especially in children. It's unthinkable that children have to go through this. It's just tragic. Um, so I won't keep you any longer with this. Tomorrow I go meet with this HR person, and if they terminate me, they terminate me. My lawyer tells me I don't have much of a case. I'll just move on. Move on. God will make a way. He's taken me this far. They say He gives you no more than you can handle. I'm trying to handle this best I can. Hopefully, He'll grant me uh, enough time to see my son to adulthood. He's only 8 now, um, and maybe even beyond. That's my prayer, and that's the person I think about the very most is my son. For him to have all the support he needs to make it and be able to navigate through this life and to be healthy and strong and happy and have to deal with far less of the negative aspects of life than I had to, find my way through because of the lack of some of the things that should have been in place that weren't in place as when I was coming up. So, that's my raison d'etre, as they say in French. That's my main reason for being, my son and my wife. And don't know how much fight I would have if I didn't have a child to think of. But I do, and I want them to have the very best and have a dad that around that help them through life. So, love yours. You never know when something crazy is going to happen. Love your kids and teach them well, help them lead the way, to borrow the words from that classic song. So, wishing all of you a happy new year. Hopefully, the new year will bring more than what the political landscape has presented for us. May the force be with all of us through what may be some of the most tumultuous times in American contemporary history, as we see what this new administration will do with our lives. So God bless, and I'm still fighting. I'm still here, and I will continue this. And I'll see you next time.